Welcome, my dear friends, for an episode from the book Thinking and Destiny, from which we have been getting magnificent spiritual wisdom. Thanks to the author, Harold Waldwin Percival, who has bestowed us with this great knowledge, and to Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, who has introduced this book to us and has been giving us the cream of the message every day through his daily messages. I am S.K. Rajan here, previously Managing Trustee of the Pyramid Valley International and now a Trustee, as well as the Vice Chairman of the Indian Federation of Spiritual Scientists. I take pleasure in introducing Brahma Vidvarishta Girija Rajan, a senior meditator, and Purnima, past life therapist and tarot card reader. They will be offering the comments on this topic, and today's topic is past lives. And we will try to understand why it is fortunate that the human does not remember previous existences. So off I go on this great topic. The reasons why people do not remember the events of their past lives is that the records that the senses made of these events on the breath form are destroyed before the doer portion returns to life. By doer memory alone, that is, without the aid of sense memory, the human cannot remember the events of past lives. Doer memories are not concerned with events, but only with the states with which these events have been produced, that is, with the feelings, desires, mental activities, faith, conscience, or illumination. The human does not know how these states come, but he recognizes them when they do come. They are memories of these states in past lives of the doer portion. The doer is frequently reproducing its own states of former lives, but because the means for sense memory have been wiped out, the human has nothing by which he can identify the states with the events that caused them. The states caused by the impressions of the former life, the doer portion may have, but the state is the result, not the memory of the event in the former life.
So, Percival here has explained how we have the memory loss of our past lives here and why it is there. So, he says that just before we are born onto this earth, before we are born, all the memories are wiped out, and it is wiped out because this breath form can't store impressions of the events or every particular thing, but it will remain as feelings and other kinds of conscience and other kind of basically feelings. Only that we will remember, and that's how we when we come onto the earth, we have particular interest in particular subjects, or have a particular taste of our own, or we might like to go and visit a place because we have been there in our past lives. Only we connect with that place or the taste or whatever we are sensing through our senses is because we remember the feelings part of it. We get connected immediately. So that's why each one's tastes and each one's preferences are different. We carry only that part in the breath form. And that is what Percival says here. So how we don't remember anything, we should understand here. We have been given that memory loss. So actually that's very good, because if we really had that memory, it would create a kind of chaos in our present lifetime. So it is very good that we have we don't remember our past lives, though we remember the feelings connected with that.
Yeah, this whatever I have understood, I will be able to explain it to you. That is, Percival is very clear in the fact that uh, we don't remember our past. Yeah, that is correct. We don't remember that we have ever existed on this earth plane before this existence, this present life. So that is the normal thing that is there here prevailing. Why is it so? Why we are unable to remember? That is what he explains. He explains that the breath form definitely gets loaded with or is imprinted, or everything that happens is recorded in the breath form. Through the senses, whatever knowledge we get is recorded in the breath form. But once the body dies, the breath form is separated, and again we reconnect with the breath form. But new things are being imprinted, so the old things are lost. The memory of that past is not recollected. So but at the same time, doer also has a memory part. In that he does not remember through the events, but he remembers it all in different states of existence, like a desire level, at the desire level, at the feeling level, and at various other levels, like in justice, and so many things are there, so many minds are there. For the thinker, the knower, and the doer, there are minds. In those levels he is able to, he will be storing all that memory, but only the states he will remember, states in which he existed in the past, only that much he will be able to remember, not the exact events as it is recorded in the breath form. These two, this is the difference. So we have to know this uh, thing very clearly. So sometimes we go through those states of being. That is why we, through the feelings, we feel as if we have had that experience in the earlier lifetime. As if we meet a person, for example. So I feel that that you are there in. I have met you in some past life. Like that, I feel. We say that to some persons. We get attached to a person at the very first sight, because we have had a connection in the past life. The feeling comes. So through that feeling state, the doer is able to know it. That is why we express it in the form of words. Whereas this part, the physical senses through which we have gained knowledge, is imprinted in the breath form, that is almost always lost. So in some cases we get back that through past life regression, or through meditation, or in deep states of trance. So we get back all those memories. We have seen many people remembering their past, whatever knowledge they have gained through the senses. That is totally different from the states. Only the states is remembered by the, that is in which all states we have been, like in the case of feelings, desire, and all, what states we have gone through, that we may remember occasionally. But that is the doer part's memory. Whereas the other part, the breath form part, is not that very easily got back. So that's what he says. So it is all for the good that we don't remember, but it's also the grace that gives us the memory of the past lives. So it is both grace that gives us loss of memory or regain of memory.
There are instances of persons remembering something of a past life. They do not remember the whole life as they do a great part of the present, but see only a figure, a street, a gate, a room, a valley. The scenes do not follow one after another consecutively, though there is sometimes a connection between several scenes. Beside the flashing up of such unarticulated senses or scenes, there are sometimes memories of events in which persons are in action. Then more appears than mere pictures. The events bring not only the sight of changing scenes and actions, but with them may come the hearing of sounds and the feeling of pleasure, fear, or hate. Many persons have some such flashes, but even if these cause a feeling, they are not usually related by the doer to itself, and so are not felt as memories. The people who believe these flashes to be memories are such as are responsive to impressions and have a tendency to clairvoyant perceptions. They have such memories also when cycling thoughts cause doer states to be quickened into life as memories and some passing event is identified.
So, friends, here he says that some people do get the memory of past lives, and how they come is explained here. They come as flashes. They come in their either their meditation or their dream states, or of course past life regression. He has not mentioned that, but they do get it, and it comes as events, small flashes, which might look not connected at all, but those are connected at a different level, he says. And these things, these connected events are all flashes of their past lives, and they are those people who get those flashes or the glimpses of past lives are they have the ability, the clairvoyant ability to see their lives before. And it is very it is actually when the events or the flashes occur to them, they have particular feelings, and so they are disconnected from the doer part, is what Percival goes on to say here.
Yeah, even ordinary persons also get the flashes of memory of past lives. They may not be a continuity in that. It's not like seeing a cinema. The events one after the other, it is not connected like that. Disconnected events here and there may come as flashes. That is for an ordinary person, it may happen. But the ordinary person never pays any importance to that. But a clairvoyant person who has got the ability to see, yes, he knows it is the past life, and he's got the ability to see that also. And the events may be coherent and one after the other, and there may be a connectivity between two events, and he will see it as a full picture. So that ability is also there. So mostly we come across these things as feelings. Those feelings which we have had, like fear or any other feeling, happiness, joy, all those things, those feelings also might come back to us. So we may feel the same feelings that we would have undergone in those past lives. Like fear, fear comes, yeah, definitely. We are afraid of some snake or something coming we would have seen it in the past life. The same feeling may come to us sometimes, but we will not know that it is from the memory of the past life. So that way he has explained clearly how people to people the past life memories, they have an impact differently, and the clairvoyant person is able to see clearly what it is. So the clairvoyance is an ability that is developed through years of practice of meditation, or practice of so many what to say, the spiritual practices. All those things will develop him to such an extent that he will be able to see things clearly. So over a period of time everything happens. So it all depends upon a person who takes it or who discards it into this present life.
Many persons claim to remember past lives even if they have only momentary glimpses without completeness and orientation. Still greater is the number of those who see nothing but may persuade themselves that their fabrications are memories of past lives. It is fortunate for the doer that the memories of the events of its past lives in human bodies are not with it in the present existence, for the education of the doer could not be accomplished if the human being could remember. A person remembering past lives would carry too great a burden of past events to have any freedom of action. The education of the doer is a progress towards the state where it becomes a free and perfected doer. This development of the doer proceeds under the light of intelligence and is attained by means of repeated re existences of the portions of the doer in human bodies. The doer learns something as the result of each existence of its various portions. Life on the common ground and experiences from the senses are the means used for training.
So he has put it so beautifully here that past lives, some people see glimpses of past lives, real glimpses. Some others see just a fabrication of that and think that they have seen the past lives, that which is not true. It's only the fabrication of their own minds. So it is not true. So this is all actually, he says that to have a free life here, it is past life glimpses are becomes a burden at some point to some people. So until that education or the wisdom sets in, it is not good to see past lives, because until we get that detachment from the feeling part of ourselves and we are completely ourselves, then we cannot actually see past lives. We cannot just observe that. We cannot stand outside and observe, because we are connected with it. We get so much involved with those glimpses, and we finally lose track of this lifetime, and we are not free. That is what Percival says here. So until we have that complete knowledge and the wisdom and light of intelligence sets in, comes to us, it's better not to see our past lives. Or I feel that meditators can, with regular practice of this meditation, can get to see their past lives. And because with reading of books, what happens is they get that wisdom quickly, and they will be able to detach themselves from the scenes that come as glimpses to them. So meditation really helps in seeing past lives. So one can actually go on to see past lives if he is a meditator.
Yeah, from whatever Percival has said and whatever I have understood, I would like to tell it in by an example, through an example. That is, suppose a boy is studying in the 5th standard and he is promoted to the 6th standard. If during the course of his classes, he suppose is involved only in the class that was preceding, that is the 5th standard classes, he is going to remember. So this, whatever the teacher teaches will never get inside him. So he cannot listen to the class, nor can he learn his lessons. So it will become an utter confusion for him. So to avoid that only, the moment he passes out of 5th standard, here the whole memory is gone. Once the examination is over, all that is lost goes down, deep down, and it is sometimes is flushed out of his system. So in the same way, we should have a clean slate in order to begin a new birth. Because whatever it is, what we may be a great spiritual master, even then even though we are a very great spiritual master at that, and if we take a lifetime here, we should be mature enough to understand our past lives and take it into the stride, not interfering with it or not creating any confusion. So that is very important. So for that, to make to get that clarity in mind and to get that maturity in the intellect, yes, we have to have the spiritual practice, and pyramid meditation is the best for getting this. So that is what our Brahmarshi Pitamahar Patriji is teaching all of us. So definitely we will have glimpses of past life, definitely, because that is the way it is all designed. So naturally we will get it, but we should see that it does not interfere with our present life, and it does not confuse us furthermore. So it may cause further, because already life is a difficult path. This material life is a difficult path to undergo, and over and above that, if you are going to get confused with the past life memories, then it will become a hell for that individual. So to avoid all that is definitely we have to take to spiritual practices, and then get ourselves, get our minds very clear all the time. The clarity should be there 100%. Then the maturity in the intellect also provides us good sense to not to be swayed by those memories, by those sweeps of memories that may come into our minds. So that we can lead a better life here, clear life here, and what has to be learnt can be clearly learnt here, one at a time, and that done well. That is how we should do it. So I think this is what I have understood.
The education goes on not in the senses but in the doer itself, as it learns through its embodied portions from experiences. The education goes on without sense memory, though the experiences are interlinked with sense memories. Therefore, it is not necessary that one should bring into the present life memories of the events of past lives. Doer memory, however, is necessary for the education. Doer memories are states of feeling and desire, of mental attitudes and abilities, and of I-ness and selfness. These states exist apart from any object that might bring them into play, and they represent the results of experiences through objects. These doer memories continue from past lives and they exist even in the present life, apart from the experiences of which they are the result.
So, friends, here he says that some amount of memory from the past life, memories from the past lives, that is connected with the feelings. That is, we get that he had already mentioned that in the previous paragraph. So that is important, he says, because we'll get a picture of what we like or the abilities we carried from our past life. Like for example, if we have some good talent to be developed, I think that comes into play. Like if I was a very good swimmer, once I see a pool suddenly and I dive into it and I really get those feelings back and I put that into play, and then I go on to become a great swimmer. So something like that. So that is important, he says. Not as we should not have it as glimpses, but we should have it as feelings, as it is already kept for us. All memories that come here, that is of the past lives, are connected with the object that we see, the senses that the senses perceive. So those memories are definitely important, is what Percival is trying to tell us here. And we'll also get that feeling of I-ness and selfness, he says, that is also achieved through the feeling and the psychic part of our being. We'll get to know that in a better way when we have those kinds of memories.
Yeah, it is beautifully said by Percival that we should have the past life memories, no doubt, but we should also have that maturity to take it, and without any confusion, without hindering the present life, we should have all those things. So as Purnima has rightly said, if we have had any talent, like I would have been a good music lover, I would have learnt music in my past life. The memory comes through a feeling or through the desire part. It comes to me by the memory of the doer. That part is okay. The I-ness, the selfness, the rightness, and the justice part, all those things from the past is very good as a part of feeling. Whereas this part, the memory that is held by the breath form, that is the events and the heaviness, all those things, all those other aspects of past lives, they should not come to us. That is not good to remember. Even if we remember that, we should have a poise, we should have that maturity to accept it. Okay, it has happened in the past, so now what I should do in order to rectify that, or in order to pursue that. That should be the idea. So it is better to always get the memories of the past, the past feelings through the doer portion of that memory. So that is contained in the doer part. So it is good to remember the past. At the same time, the don'ts and do's have been explained by him very clearly. So let us again the same example comes, that is a student from the 5th standard to the 6th standard goes. Yes, he should remember how the addition is done, how division is done, how multiplication, all those things, the lessons taught should come to him handy in the next class. But not those events should never hamper with this freedom to learn now in this class. That is what is clearly explained by Percival, I think.
The character with which a person is born and the traits brought out in the course of life, his endowments, abilities, and tendencies are doer memories. On them he builds with doer memories of sense impressions. The development of a doer person is determined by its ability to do the right thing at the right time, regardless of memory of what has gone before.
So again, here he's beautifully put it. He says that the doer memory is still there. It comes to us through the feelings, the desires, and everything. So we have to have that. That is definitely what he's telling here. So I think it is quite clear. I think, and nothing more to explain from my side is what I feel here.
Yeah, it has been clearly explained by Percival that it is better to remember the doer portion memory, because it gives us so much of, it makes us remember all the talents that we would have developed for ages in our past lives. All that should not be wasted. So it has to again come into this lifetime, and we should be able to develop that. That is how we say some children are prodigies. It is because of their past life memories that is got through the doer. That is how they become very great musicians at a very young age, because the memory is not lost. It is brought back here, and they simply develop it here. So with a little bit of training itself, they get back the memory and they become very great musicians or artists or whoever it is, very great speakers. Nowadays we can see children marveling at everything. They come out with so much of past life memories through their doers, through the feelings, and they are very, very talented. We see young children very much talented. It is all because of the past life memories that is brought back to them. Very, very clearly put. Definitely, past life memories do help us. That portion of the past life memories which is stored in the doer part, because doer always is insistent upon developing himself. So through the experiences. So development is seen there. Whereas in the breath form, whatever is stored as events, they sometimes give us grief, sometimes bring us back, and we go to low levels. So all those things are there. So it's better to avoid that. But when we become a real master, yes, even the doer part memory is desirable, is taken in the right sense, and whichever is helpful to us in this incarnation, in this birth, can be taken and then utilized here, so that we'll be able to lead this life in a better manner.
So, friends, we have been looking into past lives and how past lives influence our present. I am now reminded about the book, Recalling Past Lives. That's the name of the book, by Jina Rajadasa, who was once the president of the Theosophical Society. He has mentioned in that book that for an average person, for a person who is yet to become spiritual, if he remembers his past lives always, then his present life would become miserable, because most of the past experiences where he has had very bad experiences would influence his present life, and the quality of his life will be reduced to nothing. So, as meditators, it is incumbent upon us to see how the past lives can really help us and take up only those elements that really do good to us, so that we are improving and going to higher levels of spirituality. With these words, I end this session, and I take pleasure in thanking all of you for having witnessed this program, and to Girija Rajan and Purnima too.
Thank you.